Welcome, travelers from around the world. My name is Alex R.I., and welcome to BunnyBytesGaming! Today, we are going to be looking at the new trailer that we got for The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. And now, it's time to look a little closer at it and see what secrets this game holds. So, we are going to be going through it once more and seeing just what lies between the lines. So we open up on this ocean lake, and it's looking very pretty. I said this in the previous video that I think this might be on the lower eastern quadrant of the map. This area looks kind of like here, like it's the desert, and we segue right into this desert area, which I have to guess is Gerudo's desert. It looks like the Gerudo are coming back once again, which is very exciting after a long disappearance in the series. And I'm kind of curious what those animals are, because they kind of look like seals, but it's kind of tricky to tell. Anyone in the comment section that knows, please let us know. And then we go into the snowy region, which might be Mount Hylia, but we're not certain. We do see a wolf. It's probably a fox or a wolf. I'm going to guess fox by its physique, but it's a little hard to tell. And we just kind of see in the off-wilderness of the mountains that there's this one little tree at the very top. Nothing too special here. The sun is setting, and it's time for the night to come. And then we come to this area where we see Death Mountain, and it's nothing too big, but it's just very pretty to see. And then we go to the Koroks. If I had to guess, this previous scene that we just saw, this is probably where the Great Deku Tree and the Koroks are. I think we're getting a little bit of a story that's going here. They're taking us from one place to the other, and they're all relevant in one way, shape, or form, except for like big transitions like the mountain and the forest. But we have these Koroks here, and they're all staring at us. They've been waiting for us. They know our presence is here. So clearly they're watching and waiting for us. Some of them are on propellers, others are on the ground, and they're all just looking at us. Then we have the Great Deku Tree. And look what he has below him. I didn't actually notice this was the Great Deku Tree at first. I saw the sword. I saw the Master Sword, and I was relieved. And then once I saw that this was with the mighty Deku Tree, I knew it was in good hands, and I knew why the Master Sword was kept so quietly for this game. Normally it's always in the Lost Woods for a lot of them. Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time. No, not Ocarina of Time. No. Twilight Princess, A Link to the Past. I think a few of the other handheld games had it in the forested area, while some of them kept it in a temple, or the Temple of Time, for instance. There was never any temple that held it except for the Temple of Time, but you get what I'm saying. Once again, everything looks so pretty. There's this little glow that comes off of the Master Sword right here, and it looks like it's getting stronger, or it's just kind of fluctuating in intensity, which is really interesting. Although, on one hand, it's not very hidden if someone can see a big old glowing sword. But this might once again be like a sword of its own type thing, where if any old person tried to pull it out, it's not coming out, kid. You have to be the hero of time, or hero of wild, or whatever it might be this time. Hero of the wilderness? And then we have this scene, which just shows you the full landscape. You see Hyrule Castle covered with the Calamity Ganon. Not Calamity Ganon, the Calamity Ganon, so that hints that there was some sort of... Maybe Ganon just lost his form and his conscience entirely and is now just a big old beast, and that scene with the bridge is beautiful. There's so many different sceneries here.
The history of the royal family of Hyrule is also the history of the Calamity Ganon. A primal evil that has endured over the ages.
A primal evil that has endured over the ages. And then we get this, where Calamity Ganon is just roaming and storming around that castle. Do you know what? Oh! What if Calamity Ganon, the Calamity Ganon, whatever you want to call it, if it's specifically the Calamity Ganon or just Calamity Ganon, I don't really know. But that makes me think, if this incarnation of Ganon really wanted, what's stopping it? What is stopping it from going all around Hyrule? You know, destroying these towers, destroying what's left of the Great Plateau. Obviously, there's a Boblin or Moblin. I don't. Once again, here we go again with guess that minion. Ah! And it's just like, you know, obviously there's still a force of Ganon at work, whether they are just, you know, poachers and highwaymen and well, just thieves in general, or if they're actually working under Ganon. That's an interesting thought. Video idea. So it does create the idea and thought that what if these little minions are still working under the orders of Ganon or Ganondorf, or just, you know, they're feeling rebellious against the Hylians and the humans and the Gorons and the Zora and the Deku, you know, and the Kokiri, of course, too. I don't think Kokiri are going to be appearing in this game, but I think that they might just be fed up with everything and are just trying to live and do what they can do to survive. That race isn't going anywhere, so they're gonna try and do the best they can, even though they are social outcasts. And wow, this is really becoming really oh my gosh, this is getting like into the real psychology and history of Zelda. The big thing that I mentioned here was, what is stopping Calamity Ganon from roaming around? My guess? It's the Master Sword and what has been lying dormant. And it has been lying dormant for these 100 years. We'll have to see in time, but I think that there is a work at play here that is stopping this beast, this calamity, from venturing outward from its prison. You see all of these different creatures, and they're all at that skull. Look at that. That is interesting. Oh, what could that be? Is that just one of their homes like we've seen before, where it's just a rocky cave and it's just shaped in a skull? Or is this something more of some great beast from long ago? Is this Calamity Ganon's skeleton? Is this Ganon's skeleton, I should say? Who knows, but we can definitely tell they are banded together. Look at all these different races. These aren't just your regular old creatures. You see all of the major three right there. And there we go with the Guardian, some big rock creature. And what in the world is this thing where you're literally like hanging on to this one thing as you're sliding. Whoa! It kind of looks like it's got whiskers and just a big old mane in front of its face. That is interesting. What in the world is that? Look at that, where it's just staring right at us. And not to mention, it has that big old mohawk, faux hawk kind of thing going there. And then we have that huge monster. It's gonna obviously be a boss, mid-boss, or just a big foe that's in the middle of the wilderness. I'm honestly curious about this thing too. Look at that size of that thing. So a few frames later, you can see its whole body come out. Looks like it has only 2 arms. There's really not too much to it, but it's got a humongous, like it has a humongous body and mouth. This is definitely something that is going to be a real hassle to deal with. Now, what is Link shredding on? Skater, yo. Oh boy, and he has his arrows out, so that'll be interesting, because once again, this goes into Zelda's huge thing about, well, Breath of the Wild's big thing about being so versatile with how you attack and defeat enemies. This is no longer a game where I can literally just go right up to the enemy and be like, yeah, I'm gonna defeat you. Nope. We all remember what happened during the Game Awards when Bill and whoever the treehouse member was. All of those hearts right there. Look, oh, look at that. That is crazy. That's not normal. And that's a normal enemy. So clearly we have to be much more tactful in our attacks and thinking pattern to defeat these enemies. Not to mention their AI seems much more complicated and much more advanced than previously. So next we have the ice, what is it, Statius or something? I honestly have forgotten what those things are called after a little while, but that's really cool that you can create these little ice platforms and crystals and all that stuff on water and such. It really adds for more diversity when traveling. And then we come to this Fire Lizaphos at 150, who is just shooting out fire. So, and it looks like Link is wearing some heavy armor in there. And he's got his big old shield up, so this means that we will be having tons of, once again, tons of different varieties of ways to fight and attack these monsters. Obviously, it looks like, if you can see on the left here, we look to be in a minesy, maybe this is Death Mountain, and we're literally inside the internal bit, the crater, as it was once called. Obviously, Link is just powering through this, holding his shield up, and like, no, you will not get me. He's getting up really close, and then we don't see how he attacks it, but I'm sure after a little bit, the attack stops. But then we come right here, like everything is boom, 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 boom. Right here, we have this big one-eyed Cyclops Moblin. Once again, names, Nintendo, Moblin, Boblin, Boblin. What next? Oh my gosh. So he's looking pretty menacing. He looks like something out of Greek mythology, and I love that. So he's trying to attack Link. Link kind of dodges right away, and that's about all that's really said about that guy. Then we come to this scene right at 152, where we have... Who in the world is this? Now that I'm looking at this, I have no idea. It's weird because this figure is a little hard to determine who they are, but they definitely have a strong physique. And if you look at that face, it's a mask. Are those tusks there? Like coming out of the hood / mask? Or are those just little parts of their clothing? Hard to tell, but the one signature and definite feature you can tell off of this is that face mask. Now that is, if anything, the Mask of Truth. Once again, this is ties to the Sheikah probably. The Sheikah seem to be taking the most development curve in this series for this game, which I'm thoroughly excited about, considering the Sheikah have had a very in the background, in the shadows sort of character story. There's theories that Impaz from Twilight Princess is actually a Sheikah, or the last descendant of them. It's going to be definitely interesting to see the Sheikah and the Sheikah culture once again. There's also this humongous scabbard for the sword, and it looks like it's twisted. That is twisted metal there. And it kind of brings me back to thinking of, Fierce Deity Link. He kind of had that same sort of sword. Anyone in the comments section, if these swords, I think there are actually these sort of swords. I don't know what they're actually called. So any history buffs or any sword gurus, go ahead and comment down below. But look at that scabbard. It looks kind of like leopardy print. It's definitely long enough for this sword. But this is definitely a foe. Looks like that tent sort of has the same sort of style as this man in red. So definitely a match there. Alright, let's continue. Whoa! Okay, that was awesome. I had previously stopped right at when he was just holding his sword back. He struck, and it just made this humongous shield glow, sword shield clash glow. That was beautiful. And then we have more Roxanne dealing with the moblin boblins, bulblins. Oh, whoa, what was that? What was that shot? That was amazing. Did he shoot a bomb? Or, I mean, did he shoot TNT? Oh yeah, he shot TNT, and all of that made a chain reaction. Then we have this Sheikah thing, where he puts it up to the, sensor. And there's also that detailing on his left arm there. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have seen this sort of detailing in print before. This also is very reminiscent of Ganondorf's armbands. Or it might be one. I'll have a graphic right there or there. Either one. And once again, there's like different cultures are kind of coming into this. Like, I'm wondering if Gerudo culture is going to be a much bigger thing in this series. Maybe Gerudo are not as untrustworthy as they seem to be. Maybe they are, and who knows? Maybe Link got this as a gift. Maybe it's an item. We'll see. We see Calamity Ganon really quick, and he's just kind of roaming around and... Oh, no he's not. He's shooting stuff. Oh, so that's how he might be doing Calamity stuff still. Yes, Calamity Ganon doing Calamity things. So, obviously the war against Calamity Ganon, while it may have been quieted down, it's subdued, sure. It's dormant. He's still fighting back. He's not going to take this prison that he's been thrown into, squeezed into, lightly. We then go to Link jumping off the cliff and into the wilderness. Woo! We then have this village, and boy does it look cool. Oh, one thing I noticed right off the bat is a symbol right there on a banner. What is that banner? It's kind of hard to tell. It's got some squiggles, it's got a little teardroppy shape at the top. It's not a normal highland detail that we see, but my focus is going straight to this area right here again. Look at those different colors right down there. Green, blue, red. That. I know what this place is. It's kind of hard to tell with that bell, but I think that's a bell. Once again, another banner at the bottom there. I think we found the potion shop. Oh, now that's awesome. So it looks like this guy also has a little observation deck at the top of their house. That's pretty cool. And it looks like this village is built onto a hillside, a mountainside. Once again, Breath of the Wild is very terrainy, very hilly. So it makes sense that a lot of the area isn't very much of a flat, grounded area. We see villagers doing their day-to-day thing. It's kind of hard to tell what a lot of these different areas are, but yeah, we will kind of have to wait and see what each of these little areas are. But it's clear that the area on the right comes out the most. Is that Link down there, or is that just a horseman? Yeah, it's just a horseman. Can't really tell with this quality. We then go to this village, and right away, see, I'm looking for those emblems, because if you look for those emblems and banners, you can tell immediately who owns it. That is the symbol for the Spirit Temple, or in this case, the Gerudo. So we are obviously in Gerudo Desert, and we have a little oasis here. Let's see if we can see people. We see figures of people. Can't really tell their shapes. Can't really tell their physique. But it's definitely got that stylization, that Arabian stylization. That top area, I don't know what to really call it, but just the it's got like water dropping down from it, like a waterfall. That's kind of cool. I don't know who owns there, or who lives there, but it's kind of cool. It looks like there might be a statue up there at the very, very top. it's kind of hard to tell. That might just be water reflecting. But yeah, we'll come back to this more soon. Looks like there's some sort of stylization down there at the bottom too, under the Gerudo symbol and the Shadow Medallion symbol. Let's go. We have desolate, wastelandy hillside area. Beautiful. Going on. Oh, I made a comment about this in the video. This is what remains of a Hyrule castle. I've seen a video from Commonwealth Realm. Hey guys, about this one and how this could possibly be Twilight Princess's castle town. It does have a striking resemblance to it. It could be Ocarina's. There's debate there because once again, towns and cities and all that stuff for Ocarina, or not Ocarina, I mean Zelda changes all the time, so we'll see. Definitely this was a center point that was utterly destroyed by the Calamity Ganon and his forces. And also we have that guardian that's seemingly patrolling the area. I have a theory about the guardians. I won't go into it today, but I expect that at some point. It's gonna be good. And then we have what I'm guessing is Lake Hylia. And we have Link in a sailboat and traveling along.
That look on your face tells me that you have no recollection of me, however.
Blue flower.
You are now ready to hear what happened
100 years ago. Ooh. Okay, so I just had to play that clip again. That was pretty dang cool. So let's go back to the Great Deku Tree. So we have the Koroks right on top of his branch. Oh. Do we even see much of... No, we don't really see much of the Great Deku Tree's face at all. But it's definitely seeming like our Deku Tree might have had a history with Link. Maybe once again, Link has been living in the forest and has been, away from society that used to be around. Also, I'm really hoping for flashback gameplay scenes where we can actually play when Hyrule wasn't so desolate. Hoping. I want it. But I'm thinking that this is where Link really started to grow and develop as a character. And then this all happened and the world was only saved by a little hair. The world isn't saved fully yet. Ganon is still alive and at large. Or Calamity Ganon. But it sounds like this has been a long-lasting foe. And I'm not talking about reincarnation and all that. I'm talking about this seems to be some sort of force, not so much of a physical being. It's more corporal, it seems, than it's actually a physical being. It's all shadowy and whatnot. We have this blue flower. Pretty. We got that big old boss there. That's exciting. We then cut to Zelda and Link, and there's not much there. I'm really excited to see the princess and see what exactly is going to be happening with the princess, but it's going to take some time. It looks like she has a few different outfits, whether that's because we're in the present, the past, the future, every which way in that. We'll see. We then go into this Domi area, which I'm guessing is another one of those trials. It looks pretty cool. Once again, gravity is at play here, which I really, really liked. Zelda bathing. And then we get this... Is that 3-footed creature? Yeah, it's kind of a 3-footed creature. Okay, cool. That is going to be really, really awesome to see and battle. Shadow of the Colossus comes up so much when I think of this game. Shadow of the Colossus, Miyazaki's works, and just this is so inspired by Japanese culture as well as just fun. I don't know. You still got your Western in there, but there's definitely a more Eastern stylization to a lot of this. We then, and on the topic of Miyazaki, we also come to this area where we have these little statues. And they look like little bearded men. They're closed eyes, their posture and their pose, very, very reminiscent of a very spiritual and very cultural thing. And we see Zelda here along with Link, and they're just kind of looking down. Obviously something has happened, and it's hard to really say what is going on. It's very, it's a very touching moment. So something's coming out of the ground. It's looking like a guardian, but it's another one of those like organic-y stone things. Oh, and look up there. The Sheikah signal, the Sheikah signal, away! No, not the Sheikah signal. No, symbol. Oh, no, I know what that is. That you enter that for the trials and the other stuff. There we go, I saw the door there. We then go to 235, where we have Link and Zelda trying to hold hands, but they let go. Oh, story! We then have Zelda, and she's kind of looking at the scenery and looking very, very upset about what's all going on. There's not a lot of happiness in this. And of course, speaking of terrible, terrible, sad scenes, there is a castle town. That might be Castle Town. If you look down at the bottom left, you can kind of see stuff that looks like that fountain, maybe. But we are definitely having a guardian attack. And this could be Castle Town. This could be just a village that we come across. I'm really hoping that there's a bigger scale village that we come to. Or at least I'm looking forward to seeing the biggest scale village town that they have in this game. But, oh man, there's so many guardians. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guardians that I can see just desolating this area. There's really not too much I can say about much of the scenery here, but it's really pretty. It was all for nothing. Oh no! Ooh. So, is this once again another thing where we have Princess Zelda trying to save the world, but it, once again, falls into the wrong hands? Who knows? But I'm curious to see where this could go. Ideas! We'll see in time. Okay, and at 2:45, we have the troop. Oh! And look who is there. Not only Link, the left is a Goron, I'm sure, Gerudo, and that beast. That, it does look like a walrus. You got the Mohawk or whatever it is. Yeah. You got the tusks. This is that beast that we were kind of riding with when finding that humongous alligator reptilian sand creature thing. Cool. So it looks like we have a companion in that sense, and that might be a completely new race. It's probably fairly sentient. We don't know, but also if you look on its eye, you can see a battle scar there. So that's another indication that this creature has been through a lot. It has definitely seen war, battle after battle. It has definitely been scarred by war. It's kind of hard to tell what the Gerudo has in her hand, but it looks like some golden artifact, duh. But yeah, and they're at some temple, I would have to guess. And Zelda just crying. It seems like this Zelda isn't very magical for what we've seen. She's very mundane and very much of a, I want to do right, but nothing's been right. Nothing's going right. Poor, poor girl. This girl is going to be very well developed. Probably the most developed Zelda we've seen in a long time. Although, if she's not much of a fighting Zelda, we got a bit of a problem, because then we're gonna have probably Twilight Princess Zelda once again for the Smash Bros. Iteration. And while that's all fine and fun and dandy, I would like to get out of the Twilight Princess era for Smash Bros. And just iterations. We've had it for 2 Smash Bros. Games, 3 Smash Bros. Games now? 2. Oh, technically 3 if you want to consider the 3DS version, but I'm tired of Twilight Princess iteration. I want to go further and beyond for the console Zelda games. Then we have more wilderness, where Link is on Epona, or it might be some wild horse, or some tamed horse. It's kind of hard to say because Epona doesn't have her white hair, white mane that she usually does, and it's like, it's kind of hard to determine, yes, this is Epona. No, this is not Epona. But I think Epona isn't going to have the classic white hair that we've always seen her with. Ooh, ice arrows! Fighting some Skelly. Ooh, and we have the Goron there. What is he doing? He's like, here it comes! And then he just stops. Okay, so he's looking pretty strong as usual. And look at what he's wearing. Blue. And it's not just any old blue. It once again looks to be in that same style that Link is wearing. So clearly there is some sort of theme going on with these outfits that they're wearing. And it looks like he might be magical. That would be pretty cool. He's got some blue fire going on, or that could be spiritual energy. It's a little hard to tell, but it's looking awesome. And look at that, he's got the Goron symbol on his crest there, in chain. That's pretty cool. I can't really tell too much about the bracers slash armbands that he has. But yeah, he's like, here it comes, and we don't know what comes, but maybe the game. Maybe he's just super excited about the game. Well, we'll find out in time. Also, I just noticed something. Is there some tattooing going on his forehead there? Or are those just natural wrinkles? Interesting food for thought. Link is once again flying and diving around, and there's a statue here, which has its arms like this. Yeah. I wonder who and what this is. The last time we saw something like this, it was in the Spirit Temple. I'm wondering if this is another Gerudo-cultured statue here, or it could just be Hylian culture. And who in the world is this lady here, 257? Looks like a great fairy. It looks like she's coming out of something, or that's just her dress. Yeah, it's a little tricky to tell, but she definitely is dressed like she would be a great fairy. So this could be a great fairy for the game. And Link is traveling along the beach. There's a little island, or maybe it's just curving around. Beautiful. And there's that Gerudo girl. So, let's see. It looks like she's still holding that circular metallic thing. I don't know much to say about it, but she's dressed with a ton of gold. So she could be a member of high society. She could be royalty. It's hard to say. Is this Naburu? Is this a descendant of her, or what? We'll have to find out. There's not too much to say about her, but one thing I can say is if she's traveling with Link, this must mean that she must have some combat skills or is able to get around. Because boy, let me tell you, traveling with Link and this adventure needs a lot of skill and endurance, especially endurance. You're not going to be getting around this wilderness like you did in Ocarina, where you can just go like, phew, in one day's travel. No. Aside from fast travel, this is going to take multiple days in game to get from one point to the other. And then we got this guy. He kind of looks sharky, but he kind of is a Zora. So Red Zora? I don't really know. He doesn't look like the normal Zora we've seen. He's looking pretty cool, but we're definitely getting a lot of different characters that are joining Link, which is thoroughly exciting. He's got some ornate stuff. Pretty cool. And they also have the water stone, the spiritual stone of water on his belt as a crest. So clearly he is some sort of important person to the Zora. And then we come to this golden area here, 3 minutes. No idea what this is, it's hard to tell, but we have some purple thing right, it's kind of cloudy like Calamity Ganon, so Calamity Ganon is doing some stuff. Could be a temple, could be another trial, it's hard to say. And there is another Zora. And once again, look at that, right at the top, you have the Spiritual Stone of Water's symbol as a kind of headdress. So, royalty. There is royalty in this. And then we got this bird guy here. at 303. He's looking pretty cool. Falco. That ain't Falco. So, let's see if I can notice anything. He's got a bow. He's got that blue on again. Once again, it seems like it's a recurring theme with a lot of these characters where they have blue. Now, what I'm thinking here is that if these are the Rito, like many people are theorizing, then maybe this is their clan. Maybe these are what they wear and Link is getting in their culture. Or maybe it's just a faction. That could be an interesting thing. Maybe the blue represents freedom. Interesting bit. He seems to be laughing, so clearly he is a bit carefree, cocky maybe. He's definitely in high spirits. But we'll see. So we have the Zora guy, and I have to say, it's interesting considering that the Zora in this game are red. He looks way more shark-like, so this could be not a Zora at all, but another race of fish people. We'll see. Really, really interesting, once again, is that he has the spiritual stone of water right on his belt there. So clearly he might even be the prince, might be the king. Is that another Zora on the right there? Or that could be Jabu Jabu. He looks pretty big on that right there. Ideas. But it looks like the wilderness is just outside of this area here. We're in some sort of dome. Ooh, Zelda is using magical powers, so yes, she is competent and stronger. Maybe this is just a Triforce of Wisdom doing its work. Ooh, so there's Link. Oh, look, he's got the rusted Master Sword there. Oh, but what is he fighting? Is that a Guardian? Oh, that is so hard to tell. Yeah, it's a Guardian. It looks like a Guardian. That's awesome. And then we have Zelda looking once again. Save her, my daughter. Oh, the King of Hyrule's coming back. I'm really excited to see what his rendition will look like. And Link is looking muddy at the very end there. The Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild. Now, what was that scene at the very end there? Let's see. It's so hard to tell. Okay, I got a clear view at the Great Deku Tree. He looks to have that same look as he did in Ocarina of Time. So that'll be pretty cool.
Open your eyes.
Wow. That was a humongous amount of information. My eyes are open. Woo! Wow. Thank you everyone so much for watching. This has been amazing. I am so excited to see what is going to happen in the next month. Oh, it's only literally going to be a month. Like, oh, I am so hyped. And for good reason, my good followers, watchers, viewers, everything, you know, the whole 9 yards. Wow! Guys, this is going to be fantastic. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, like it, share it, comment, and explore. Take all of this information in. And oh my gosh, I don't even know. Right now, I am so excited. I literally was just looking at this video for, you know, 25 minutes plus. Wow. Wow. But, you know, do the thing. Do the thing, and the subscribe button will love you. Let's just say, hold up the Triforce for that subscribe button. And you'll be able to see all of my great content every week. And once again, this has been Alex R.I. right here on BunnyBytesGaming! And we will see you all real soon.